5 Navy bombers took off from Florida in 1945 and simply stopped existing. 14 men, gone, and the rescue plane sent after them vanished too. They were flying over water that pilots swore made their instruments lie. And the strangest part is what the numbers actually say about that water. The area sits between Miami, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Sailors have whispered about it since Columbus, who logged a wildly spinning compass here in 1492. Flight 19 is the story everyone remembers. The lead pilot radioed that his compasses had failed. He believed the ocean below looked wrong, like they were somewhere they'd never been. Then the transmissions faded into silence. So what makes a working compass fail over open sea? Here is something you can feel in your own hands. Your compass points to magnetic north, not true north. Almost everywhere on Earth, those two directions differ. But across parts of this triangle, they line up exactly. For decades, this was called agonic, one of the few places the two norths agree. A disoriented pilot could correct for a difference that wasn't there and fly straight into empty ocean. That felt like an answer. Then the answer cracked. The agonic line moves. It drifts as Earth's magnetic field shifts, and it hasn't run through the triangle for years now. Yet ships still went missing after it left. So the compass alone can't be the whole story. Look at what the water itself does. The Gulf Stream cuts right through here, a river inside the sea, moving faster than most rivers on land. It races at over 5 miles an hour in places. A small boat losing power drifts miles before anyone notices. Wreckage gets swept away, scattered, swallowed. By the time searchers arrive, the evidence has already sailed north. Now feel the depth beneath you. Some trenches here plunge past 8,000 meters. Drop a plane into that, and it will never be found. Expected versus measured. People expect a graveyard, a place where losses spike far above normal. So investigators counted. The results surprised almost everyone. Insurers at Lloyd's of London checked their records. They found no higher rate of loss here than any other busy stretch of ocean. The U.S. Coast Guard agreed. This is one of the most heavily traveled regions on the planet. Cruise ships, cargo, private planes, all day, every day. More traffic means more accidents, in raw numbers, not in proportion. Stack it against the North Atlantic in winter, and the triangle looks calm by comparison. So why does the legend refuse to die? Because a few disappearances were genuinely hard to explain. And nature here has a habit of erasing its own tracks. Consider the rogue waves. For years, sailors described walls of water taller than buildings, and scientists dismissed them as tall tales. Then satellites started measuring. In 3 weeks of scanning, they recorded 10 waves over 25 meters in oceans worldwide. Waves that old physics said should almost never appear. The triangle sits where storms from 3 directions can meet. Wave stack on waves. One theory says a single monster crest could swallow a ship in seconds, leaving no time for a distress call. Then there is the gas beneath the seabed. Trapped inside, the mud lie vast fields of frozen methane hydrate. If a pocket releases, the water fills with bubbles. And bubbly water is less dense. Some scientists argue a ship in that froth could lose its buoyancy and sink like a stone. It has been shown in the lab. Whether it has ever sunk a real vessel, no one has proven. Here is where most people go wrong. They treat every vanishing as one connected event, one hidden force pulling everything down. But the cases don't share a cause. Some were storms. Some were human error. Some boats were later found, drifting and empty, exactly where the Gulf Stream would carry them. One famous ship, the Mary Celeste, is often placed here. It was actually found near Portugal, an ocean away. The legend simply borrowed it. When you separate the stories, the pattern dissolves. There was never one triangle. There were dozens of ordinary tragedies stitched into a single myth by a magazine writer in 1964. That one article and the word triangle did more than any storm ever could. So what does the data really mean for us today? Mariners still cross it without a second thought. No shipping lane avoids it. No airline reroutes around it. The insurance costs the same as anywhere else. What changed is subtler. The mystery pushed scientists to take rogue waves seriously and to map methane fields sleeping under the sea. Those fields matter now for a bigger reason. As oceans warm, that frozen gas could thaw and rise, and researchers are watching it closely. The triangle, it turns out, taught us to measure the things sailors only feared. So the true story is quieter than the legend. A fast current that steals wreckage. A depth that hides it. Waves that shouldn't exist, but do. And a compass that once told the truth in a place no one expected. Flight 19 was never found. The searchers never learned which way those pilots actually turned. And that is the piece still open. Not a curse, not a portal, just 14 men and a needle that may or may not have lied, resting somewhere in 8 kilometers of dark water. If you like falling asleep to mysteries